Good Baza YouTube, 6-Foot Hacks here for you guys today. The first Showdown live of 2017, and I've been meaning to get one of these up sooner, but I just got around to playing a couple games in RU Alpha the past couple days, so I've really been enjoying it. Let me know how you guys feel about RU Alpha. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Personally, I think it's a lot of fun. It's definitely a lot more fun than what ORAS RU used to be, although I guess it kind of feels like ORAS UU if you really look at it, but I think right now it's definitely a lot of fun. It doesn't have like as many broken things as UU Alpha had, so I think that's a huge plus for it. But let me know how you guys feel about RU Alpha in the comment section below, and if you guys do enjoy the live, then make sure to hit the like button as well. One like can definitely go a long way. So as you can see here, we have Z Celebrate Venusaur, which is actually an absolute monster, man. This thing becomes so bulky and so powerful after you're able to go for the Z Celebrate. For those of you who don't know, Z Celebrate gives you +1 in all of your stats, so it's equivalent to an ancient power boost. And the only downside to being modest as opposed to timid is that regular Crobat can outspeed you, but I haven't ran into too many Crobats, and even then some of them weren't max speed Jolly, so there's a chance that we may not see max speed Jolly Crobat. So I'm really hoping that but Celebrate Venusaur can put in a lot of work. Hidden Power Ground is our coverage move to be able to hit steel types and rock types as well as poison types, because Sludge Bomb and Giga Drain are already two powerful hitting stab moves, and it's nice to have that extra little bit of coverage with Hidden Power Ground. I thought about maybe putting Substitute on the set, but I have ran into instances where it's nice to have Hidden Power Ground. Next up, we have Focus Sash Alakazam. We know how much of a monster Alakazam was in ORAS UU, and it's definitely a monster right now in Sun and Moon RU Alpha. Next up, we have Assault Vest Brainiac, the Metagross, because I've seen a lot of dragons running around from the matches that I've had, so this gives me a pretty decent switch in while giving me a solid answer to things like Crobat and other offensive flying types, as well as Specs Boomburst Swallow, which is something I definitely want to try out. So we have a little Volt Turn core here between Specs Heliolisk, which hits like an absolute monster. I originally did have Signal Beam over Thunderbolt, but having that extra powerful stab in Thunderbolt is just very, very handy. And then of course we have Scarf Manshao, which I've loved this thing since Black and White 2 UU, man. Manshao is an absolute monster, and it definitely fits well on this team. And then of course we have to have good old team player, regular Swampert here, man. Swampert has always been a great Pokemon. This thing is solid, even though it is 4 times weak to grass. It's fine, you have other team members on your team to be able to switch into grass types, and just Swampert is absolutely amazing right now in RU Alpha, I think. So yeah guys, that is a quick run through of the team. Let's go ahead and get this started. So we got the first matchup here, and this team looks very familiar. I feel like I played this dude before. Either way though, my best lead is probably going to be Manshao, it looks like, because I can definitely high jump kick the Lycanroc, I can Stone Edge the Vikavolt. I don't want to lead Swampert just because he could lead Vikavolt and it does learn Energy Ball if I'm not mistaken. I guess Metagross wouldn't be too bad of a lead either, but I think I'd rather lead my Manshao, as he's going to be leading off with the Flygon. I am a little bit worried that he could maybe go for a Dragon Dance, but I'm still going to go for the U-turn. It's definitely my safest move to go for, as we're going to be able to get off a good amount of chip damage on him. And by bringing in Swampert here, if he does Dragon Dance, then we can just go straight for the Roar, as he actually ends up going for the Earthquake. Thankfully, that doesn't do entirely too much damage, and I will be able to take this opportunity to get up my rocks, as he does turn out to have the Dragon Dance. So that is a little bit scary, but we should be able to live a hit here. What? Oh, look at that! Swampert, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, team player coming through, surviving the devastating Drake. Flygon, why? You got Dragon Dance, why are you still not able to kill things? So I was not expecting to live that. I was gonna switch into my Alakazam the next turn, but no. Swampert, man, Swampert able to just eat the hit like it's nothing, and at this point I may have to sack off my Swampert as much as I don't want to, although I think maybe switching it to my Metagross wouldn't be a bad play either, because I could save Swampert for later, if anything as Death Water. So I'm going to switch into my Metagross here, as First Impression does do a pretty solid chunk of damage there, but Zen Headbutt should be able to knock him into range of where his emergency exit is going to activate, so he should be forced out here after this next attack, as he's going to bring the Flygon. If I don't miss here, I should be able to knock him out with the combination of Zen Headbutt and Bullet Punch, except for the fact I'm able to straight knock him out with the Zen Headbutt, which is really great. I'm not sure what he was expecting there by switching it in, but he's gonna bring in the Alakazam here, and unfortunately I don't really have a safe switch into this Alakazam, so I want to say I can live a non-boosted Shadow Ball, so I don't know if I should really go straight for the Bullet Punch or the Meteor Mash. I want to say the Bullet Punch should still put him in range of where I can easily 2-KO him, as he is going to go for the Shadow Ball, and I am able to just barely live, which is really great, so another Bullet Punch will be able to knock him out here. I was about to, no, I wanted to cancel and switch up moves. But it's fine. It's fine. And I can definitely see him wanting to go for the Will-O-Wisp here, so I think I'm going to take this chance to switch it to my Heliolisk. That way I can start applying some pressure onto him, and then I can still save my Metagross for Death Fodder later in this matchup. Plus, if he does go for an offensive move, it's fine. It's really not that big of an issue, as he doubles into his Lycanroc. I'm not sure what he was predicting me to do. Maybe he thought I would bring in Venusaur, so I guess that kind of makes sense. I wonder if a Volt Switch will knock this out. I don't think so. So I think this is where I may have to go for the Thunderbolt. Let me check the calc real quickly. Use Special Attacker. No, I am Choice Specs, my friend, because it's powerful. So Volt Switch, Lycanroc. Why does that do so much damage? Hold on. Am I reading this right? I feel like that's doing way too much damage. What? Why are these stats so low? Hold on. What? I'm gonna go for Thunderbolt, I think. And he misses the Stone Edge. So that kind of sucks. That might have actually knocked me out. I'm not too sure if it would have, but unfortunately he did end up missing there. And Heliolisk is a huge threat to him, so I guess what I should have done was probably sack something off. So I guess it was a bit of a dumb play for me to just stay in here like that. As he ends up bringing in the Vikavolt here, I think this is where I just need to sack off something. So I'm going to switch into my Swampert here, as he is going to end up going for the Bug Buzz. I can see if he's Life Orb or not, but he's not. So I want to say that I can probably win with the Venusaur at this point. Yeah, because we can chew a First Impression. Although, I don't know if I can live a Bug Buzz plus First Impression, so I don't know if I really want to do that just yet. Alakazam can 2-KO this, which would be really, really nice. I just need to get rid of this this Vikavolt before I'm able to do anything. So, I may just bring back in my Heliolisk and go for the Hyper Voice, is what I'm thinking. And even if he does want to switch into the Jellicent, it's not going to be too big of an issue, because at that point I can just sack off my Metagross, and I'm just going to be weakening his Vikavolt. And if I bring in my Venusaur on the Jellicent, then that gives me an even freer Z Celebrate than I would get if I try to set up here in front of the Vikavolt. So yeah, I think I may just bring in my Heliolisk here and probably just go straight for the Hyper Voice. Like I said, I don't really care if he does want to switch in the Jellicent. That's fine with me. It's not going to be that big of a problem, as it chews the hit like it's nothing. Good lord. Is this thing Assault Vest? That's got to be Assault Vest. Well, he's in range of where rocks will knock him out at this point. So he's going to switch into his Jellicent, which is fine by me, because now I can just sack off my Metagross, and then this will give me a free switch into Venusaur, and I should be able to go for the Z Celebrate without too much worry about what he wants to do to me in return. And at +1 speed, I am going to be faster than a non-scarfed Alakazam, so I'm really not worried about Alakazam because they're never scarfed. Normally they're going to be Life Orb or Focus Sash, so I'm going to go ahead and take this chance to go straight for the Z Celebrate, as he's going to switch into his Golisopod, which has its emergency exit activated, so I pretty much just get a free Z Celebrate here, and there's nothing that my opponent can do. Yeah, Golisopod's not going to be doing anything to me. Unless he gets a crit here, yeah, that still did a good amount of damage, but thanks to the +1 defense, we're able to chew that hit. We can definitely outspeed a non-scarfed Alakazam and knock it out with the Giga Drain, and at this point his last mod is going to be the Jellicent, which shouldn't be that hard for us to knock out. So pretty decent first match. Let's go get another one. Alright guys, so we got this second matchup here. Orphic, that name sounds very, very familiar. And I didn't know that Alola Golem was an RE. I may have to definitely try that out. Mega Absol is absolutely terrifying. So this is a Trick Room team, which is going to be very, very scary to deal with. So looking at leads, I think I may just lead Heliolisk. It looks like it has the best matchup. as he ends up leading off with the Golem. So I'm just going to go straight for the Volt Switch into my Swampert to be able to go ahead and get up my Stealth Rocks, as we're going to be able to break a potential Sturdy or Sash, and he most likely will just end up getting up his Rocks here as he does do so. So I'm going to get up my Rocks as well. And yeah, this name is very familiar because I'm pretty sure this is a mod, because you don't typically have sprites like this. So this person should definitely know what he is doing. But like I said, he probably has a Trick Room team, probably for Wishy-Washy, which I've thought about using a Trick Room team with Wishy-Washy, man. Wishy-Washy hits stupidly hard in its school form, so I definitely want to try that out in a future live. But if anything, we can force him out here. I guess this is where having Toxic as opposed to Roar would come in handy, but in that instance of our first match where Flygon Dragon Dance, that's where having Roar is a lot better than having Toxic, because he would have been able to knock me out the following turn, and I would have had to deal with a +1 Flygon while losing my Swampert and not being able to save it for Death Water. But in this case right here, this is where having Toxic would really come in handy, because I could poison the Porygon too, as he ends up bringing in the Bronzong. And I'm a little concerned that this may have the Hidden Power Grass, but there is a possibility he's probably just going to go for the Trick Room. And even if he does have the Hidden Power Grass, I should be able to take one, as we're going to just spam Scald here to be able to potentially get a burn. And we are going to be able to waste a couple turns of Trick Room without any worry. If this is offensive Calm Mind Reuniclus, that could be a little bit problematic. So I'm going to have to watch out for that, as he's going to bring in the Porygon 2. Still no burn, which is a little bit annoying, but isn't that big of an issue, as we are going to be able to chew this Ice Beam. I'm just going to go ahead and spam Scald here, trying to fish for a burn, because that'll be really good for us. Although that Ice Beam did do a good chunk of damage, so I think I may switch into my Metagross here. There's no way he should be able to beat my Metagross 1v1 unless he gets lucky with the Tri-Attacks, as I should be able to safely go for a Meteor Mash here, and he's going to end up going for the Recover. So he's got Recover, Ice Beam, Trick Room, and either Thunderbolt or Tri-Attack as his final move. As we get a little lucky there and we get the boost, I really have no reason to not just go for another Meteor Mash here. I will be able to put him in range of where a Bullet Punch is going to knock him out. So down goes the Porygon 2. It was a little lucky that we did get that boost, as he ends up bringing in the Wishy-Washy. I can definitely chew any hit that this thing wants to go for, as he misses the Hydro Pump. I have the Assault Vest. I would have lived that. I would have lived that. Hold on. No. Okay, hold on. For the sake of the live, we're gonna run this calc. Hold on. We're gonna run this calc, because I'm pretty sure I would have been able to chew that hit. And worst comes to worst, I'm gonna put him as Specs, because that's the hardest that he would be able to hit me. So let's see, Specs with Hydro Pump. Yeah, see, I would have been able to live, although that would have done so much damage if he was Specs. There is a possibility that maybe he was Life Orb, or he wasn't even Life Orb or Specs, and was probably like a Resto Chesto set or something like that. But I guess we get the second victory. Let's go get another match. Alright, so we got the next matchup here against Purple. I don't know why I find that nickname so funny. But he has a pretty cool 5th gen. This is literally like a 5th gen UU team right here with Mega Absol. What is this? I did not know Roserade was in RU. Actually, you know, Shaman is even in RU Alpha. That's definitely something I want to try out in a future live. So this could be Dragon Dance Flygon. I definitely see people wanting to try that out a lot. I could see him trying to Hazard Stack, which could be a little bit annoying, so definitely gonna have to watch out for that. I am just gonna lead off with my Manchow. I think this should definitely be able to put in a lot of work against this team, and I'm gonna go straight for the high jump kick. This is gonna nuke Flygon, and it should 2 a KO whenever he decides to switch in. As down, we just put down Flygon turn 1. Not even bad. Down it goes. That is one potential threat out of the way, as in comes a Swampert. I should be able to get up my own rocks here with my Swampert, although I think I'm gonna risk it in high jump kick, as I miss and I get knocked out by the Earthquake. So that is really suckish, because this was going to be my main way of dealing damage to his team. So I can bring in my own Swampert here, and we're gonna have to exchange rocks, and I am really not in a good position at all, as he switches into his Roserade. I'm not sure why he didn't get up his own rocks there. Maybe he doesn't have them, which would be a little bit odd if you ask me, but I could see him potentially not having them. And my Venusaur should be a pretty decent switch into this, as he's going to go for the Sleep Powder, obviously the Sleep Powder, as we are going to be able to take that. I almost want to go for the Z Celebrate right now, just to kind of weaken his team a bit for the rest of my team, or, you know, he's just going to forfeit. Let's go get another one. Alright, so a Crobat. Oh, I don't want to deal with Crobat. I didn't know that Meteor was in Aryo, and Zoroark is a very cool Pokemon that you guys may be seeing more on the channel. Just a little hint, wink, wink there. Now, looking at leads, my best lead is obviously going to be my Heliolisk, considering that he has nothing to stop me from just freely Volt Switching on his entire team. Although Swampert wouldn't be a bad lead either, just because we get up Rocks turn 1. So yeah, I think I am going to lead off with my Swampert, as he's going to be leading off with his Deontay. I kind of want to go straight for the Scald or the Earthquake, just because I will be able to weaken him a little bit, although there is a possibility that this could be Zoroark, so I think I would rather just get on my Rocks, as he does turn out to be the Zoroark in disguise, and that actually really sucks. That really sucks. I was not expecting him to have the Grass Knot. So he's got Grass Knot, U-Turn maybe, Dark Pulse, and Focus Blast is what I'm expecting. So he's going to be able to switch into the Crobat here, which is very, very annoying. But Crobat shouldn't be able to knock out my Heliolisk in any one hit, so I will be able to just get a free Volt Switch here. And it does really suck that we're not going to have Rocks up in this game, because like I said, they would have really come in handy, as he's going to switch into his Deontay here. We are going to be able to get off a pretty decent bit of damage, allowing me to get a free switch into my Metagross, and I should be able to safely go for the Meteor match here without really losing anything. Even if he does want to bring in the Porygon 2, that's fine. There's a chance we will get the attack boost, and then from there we can definitely beat Porygon 1v1. If he does want to stay in here, then he's just going to risk losing his Deontay, which is going to be good for me, because that's one less thing that we have to worry about. So no Stealth Rocks for him, as we're able to knock him out. In comes the Porygon 2, and I'm guessing Download is becoming standard on Porygon 2, because I never used to really see that back in the day. Do I have use for Metagross? We can check the Minior, we can switch into Crobat, and we do have Bullet Punch for the Zoroark. I'm not sure what this is going to want to do to me, so I'm a little bit worried. I guess this is where having Substitute on Venusaur would really come in handy, because we could potentially set up a sub and then go for the Z Celebrate. Although there is a chance he may just go for the T-Wave. We can definitely take Shadow Ball. If he doesn't status me with a Tri-Attack, then that's going to be good. I think I'm going to switch in the Heliolisk to see what exactly he wants to do. What? I'm scared. So that does so much damage. That does so much damage, and if High Jump Kick doesn't knock him out here, we lose. Like, I was not expecting a bulky Z conversion Porygon 2. That's actually really, really cool. I don't know if that crit mattered. I'm pretty sure he was probably like modest, if anything, so I don't think that crit mattered. As he ends up bringing in the Toxicroak, we are really not in a good scenario right now. Earthquake should definitely knock him out, but so will Zen Headbutt, as we're able to chew that Sucker Punch. We're going to knock him out with the Zen Headbutt, as we are going to be able to get the advantage in the score here. In comes the Crobat. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to switch into this Crobat anymore. I want to say that this is actually the Zoroark, because I think we damaged the Crobat earlier. So I'm just going to Bullet Punch to get off a little bit of damage, as he does turn out to be the Zoroark. And that still did 47%. Holy crap. That did way too much damage, if you ask me. So I will be able to bring in my Manchow here and just safely go for the U-turn without really having to worry about anything that he wants to do. It does kind of suck that we lost our Heliolisk though, and our Metagross, because like I said, Metagross was our way to check Minior, especially if he was able to get up a boost from the Shell Smash. So if I bring in Alakazam here, he could potentially bring in the Minior, which could be a little problematic, because if Minior gets up a boost, then he could potentially win. So I'm gonna bring in my Alakazam here, because we do still have the Focus Sash intact, which is really great. As he ends up bringing in the Crobat, I can definitely take one hit, obviously, because we do have the Focus Sash. Although I could see him wanting to go for the U-turn here, which if he does U-turn, I want to say we can 2-KO the Minior, because we can still Stone Edge the Crobat, and we should still be able to high jump kick the Minior. If I bring in my Venusaur here, he could just U-turn. See, the way it's playing out in my head is that he's gonna get a free Shell Smash with the Minior, and if at +2 he's still not faster than my Alakazam, I can Encore him in to the Shell Smash is what I'm thinking. So I kind of just want to stay in here and go for Psychic. At the same time, I want to switch into Venusaur. I think I'm going to switch into Venusaur. I know this may seem like a little bit of an odd play. But I should be able to just force him here to knock me out. And I went for the Hidden Power Ground on the options that he did want to go for the Roost, as I will be able to bring in my Mienshao, and Stone Edge should definitely be able to knock him out. As long as I don't miss, we should be in an okay scenario, because I can hopefully revenge kill him. Not revenge kill him, but my hopes was to Encore the Minior into the Shell Smash. And now I don't know if we are going to be able to do that. So it's either Psychic or Focus Blast, which both are neutral. And I think after Stab, Psychic is slightly stronger. So definitely going to go for that, as we should be able to win this matchup. Yeah, even with his speed, it'll come down to a speed tie if he is Jolly. So here's the moment of truth. He's luckily not Jolly, and we're able to pull out the victory there. I got a little bit worried, but let's go get another matchup. Or another match, yeah. So apparently the guy I just battled was Lino here, but his score was 1370, so he was almost in the top 10 of the RU ladder here, which I think is kind of cool. So let me go find the matchup we just got. Where is it? Is it this one? No, it's not this one. Hold on, let me close the matchup here. Okay, so yeah, this is the next match. And like I said, see, look, Shaman is here, man. Shaman is a really cool Pokemon. I love Shaman, man. And Dragon Dance for Alligator. Why did I say it like that? Dragon Dance for Alligator is another really cool mon. So he's got a Rampardos, which is interesting. So I'm guessing that may be his lead. So I kind of want to expect him to lead off with that. Heliolisk wouldn't be too bad of a lead either, but I think Swampert is probably our best matchup if he does want to lead off with the Rampardos, as he actually ends up leading off with the Donphan. So the question is, do I go for the Stealth Rocks or the Scald? I really want to go for Scald because I feel like he's just going to get up his own rocks. So this way I'm able to potentially burn him, and I'm going to be able to get off a huge hit already. But he switches into the Togekiss. No! I don't think I've got a single burn with Skull throughout this whole Showdown live. So there is a chance that this Togekiss does obviously have the Grass Knot. So I may be forced out here. So I'm going to switch into my Heliolisk. He shouldn't have anything to hit me with, as Air Slash does nothing to us, and I want to take this chance to just go straight for the Hyper Voice. I also want to pull a double switch back into my Swampert, expecting him to bring in the Donphan, which I think is what I'm going to do. I don't want to Volt Switch, obviously, because I'm going to be stuck in here locked in the Volt Switch if he does bring in his Donphan, as he does double back into the Donphan, and I'm going to take this chance to get on my rocks. I could see him getting up his own rocks here, but definitely going for my rocks is the better play, because from there we can just go for the Scald, as he is forced back out into the Shaman. And I'm guessing he switched out because I did go for the Scald turn 1, so I guess this is another benefit where me going for Scald turn 1 definitely helped us out, because I was able to force him out, and we're going to be able to have rocks up for a couple of turns, and he's going to be forced to spin them away. So by bringing in his Shaman here, I want to switch into my Venusaur, although there is a chance he could have the extra sensory, so my Metagross should be a pretty good middle ground switch in, as he ends up having the Air Slash, expecting me to switch into my Venusaur. And because we are Assault vested, we can definitely take an Earth Power, which I'm not too concerned about him going for. A Meteor Mash wouldn't be a bad play either, because we can force him into the Donphan and we can weaken that, and then from there I can switch into my Swampert to just get my rocks back up. I really want to pull a double switch here. I really want to pull a double here, expecting him to switch just into the Donphan. I am thinking about maybe putting Grass Knot on this Metagross so we can hit Swamperts and Donphans. That would actually maybe come in really handy. But I think just Meteor Mashing is my safest play here, as we are able to chew the Earth Power, so it's a good thing I did not switch out there, as we should be able to put him in range of where Bullet Punch is going to knock him out. And even if he does want to switch out here, that's fine, because we're going to get off a little bit of chip damage and whatever comes in, and then next time Shaman switches in, it's going to be very low. So he's going to switch out into his Donphan, which is fine by me. We're definitely going to put him out of range of where his Sturdy would still be activated. So I should be able to get a free switch back into my Swampert here without really any concern about what he wants to do. And the reason I don't want to bring in my Heliolisk is because he could have gone for the Earthquake, as you see here. I'm not sure why he's not going for Stealth Rocks. This is further confirming the fact that he may have rocks on his Rampardos. So I'm going to go for the Earthquake here. I think it's definitely my better play to do because there's a chance he's going to bring in his Shaman. Although double switching wouldn't be a bad play either. I think just Earthquaking is maybe the better play as he's going to stay in and get up his rocks now. Okay, well, going to switch up moves and go for the Scald now. So if I'm able to burn the Shaman as it switches in, with Scald and Burn and rocks, we should be able to knock him out. If not, then I can just switch back into my Assault Vest Metagross and then knock him out with a Bullet Punch. So either way, Scalding here is definitely a good play because we could get a burn if my Swampert was well trained, which apparently it's not. Apparently my Swampert is not well trained, and I'm just gonna go for another Scald. I don't really care. What? You guys saw that, right? Like, my eyes aren't playing tricks on me. He actually had Giga Drain. I could take a Brave Bird, but what? What is going on? I am confused. I'm very, very confused. So I'm gonna bring in Alakazam here and go for the Psychic. There is a chance he may stay in here. I was not. See, I'm still baffled by the fact. Out of all Crobat sets, out of all the moves this man could run, he chooses to have Giga Drain, which I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying it's a bad set, and obviously in this case it worked. I got destroyed. Swampert was gonna be my main way of answering the Donphan and hopefully spreading burns around, and now my Swampert is just gone. My Swampert got destroyed by Giga Draining Crobat. So since he has Giga Drain and the Life Orb, there is a chance that he also has the Nasty Plot, which is a little bit annoying. So we're gonna have to watch out for that, as I'm able to knock out the Shaman on his switch-in. I should be able to knock out the Donphan at 62%. Let me check the calc just because I don't want to be wrong about this. Alakazam, no, unfortunately we are not. So we have a chance to knock him out. It is a roll, unfortunately. Oh, that really, really sucks. That actually really, really sucks. So he lives, and we got close to min damage. Like, really? Really? Oh, this is not good. This is really not good. This is really, really not good. We are in a very, very bad spot right now. We are in a very, very bad spot right now. So, U-Turn should be able to knock out the Donphan. I just want to make sure. Yeah, so we have a chance to knock him out if we get max damage, which obviously I would rather not take. I can't bring in Venusaur just yet, because if I Z-Celebrate, then he just goes for the Rapid Spin, and having Rocks up is going to be really good to weaken that Crobat to put him in range of where my Venusaur could knock him out. If I bring in Metagross, he could potentially Dragon Dance with the Feraligatr, but I guess in that case we do have the Manchow. If I bring in Heliolisk, I could lock myself into the Hyper Voice and potentially force him into the Crobat. So I'm gonna go for the Hyper Voice here. That really sucks that we got the low damage roll there. Like, that was literally close to absolute min damage, and it just really cost us there, because we would have been able to knock him out before he had broken my Sash, and then I would have been able to keep Alakazam for later. As in comes the Feraligatr, I'm gonna go for the Hyper Voice. We are choice specs, as we're gonna be able to get off a huge amount of damage. And then why would you? Hello? The only thing I can think of as to why he would Waterfall is because he predicted me to switch. If you didn't predict me to switch, going for the Waterfall there was definitely the worst play that he could have done. So in comes the Rampardos, which I can definitely not knock out with the Hyper Voice. So I'm gonna have to sack something off here. which may be my Venusaur or my Metagross. I kind of want to keep Metagross, but at the same time, I can see why it wouldn't be too beneficial. So I'm going to switch into my Metagross here as he goes for the Rock Slide. So he turns to be Sheer Force, which is fine by me because it's really not that big of a problem anymore. And I'm still baffled by the fact that he was able to knock out my Swampert with the Giga Drain. So he's going to switch into his Crobat here. I'm guessing just wanting to save his Rampardos for some reason, as I will be able to knock him out with this following Bullet Punch. And, well, I can knock him out with Life Orb is what I wanted to say. So down goes the Crobat, which is really nice. And at this point, Heliolisk should be able to win us the game because I can just safely lock myself into the Thunderbolt. Unless he turns out to be Scarfed. If he Scarfed Rampardos, that could actually be a little bit scary. Luckily, though, he's not Scarfed, as we're able to finish him off, and that is the victory in our favor. So I think I may get one more match, and then with that, we'll call it a live. Alright guys, so we got the final matchup here. Ooh, I like the Sigilyph, not even bad. Shouts out to the boys who watched the UCL Season 2 and watched Sigilyph put in work in the matches that I brought it in. So there is a good possibility that he doesn't have rocks because, as you see from his team, he doesn't have any stealth rockers. So I'm a little bit concerned to lead off with my Swampert, but it looks like Venusaur can definitely put in a whole lot of work. So I think I'm going to lead off with my Heliolisk because I can Volt Switch on his entire team, I can Hyper Voice his entire team once this Jellicent is gone, and I can spam Thunderbolt once we drop this Rotom Mo. So it's going to be really good for us in this game. So if I can get rid of either Rotom or Heliolisk, not Heliolisk, sorry, but if I can get rid of Rotom or the Jellicent, then we should be in a pretty good spot here. So there's the possibility that he is going to be Scarfed and just go for the Volt Switch. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch of my own, as he does not turn out to be Scarfed. So I'm a little scared about what he's going to go for here, as he goes for the Will-O-Wisp. No, I mean, honestly, if you look at the matchup, Metagross really wasn't doing anything, so I guess it's not that bad that it's burned, but it would have been nice to have Metagross around. But I should be able to just go for the Zen Headbutt here. There is a chance he's going to switch into the Jellicent. He most likely will just go for the Volt Switch, like he literally has no reason to not just Volt Switch here. So I kind of actually want to switch into my Heliolisk. But he seems like the type to go for Leaf Storm on a Metagross, which would absolutely terrify me. So I'm going to switch into my Heliolisk here, expecting him to just go for the Volt Switch. As he does go for the Volt Switch, doing 0 to us, which is really great. And I will be able to Volt Switch on whatever he switches into. Although he could bring in the Skuntank, that could be a little bit of an issue just because of Sucker Punch. So I may have to fodder off my Metagross, or I need to find some way to hopefully get on my Stealth Rocks, which are going to prevent him from wanting to Volt Switch so much around my team. Because obviously, I'm not going to switch a Swampert into a Rotom as he goes. I go for Scald this entire live and I don't get a single burn, but you go for your first Poison Jab and you poison me. So that's Pokemon logic. It's fine. It's fine. Although Swampert was going to be my main answer to the Skuntank, it still shouldn't be able to do much to us in this game. As he ends up bringing in not the Heliolisk, but he ends up bringing in the Sigilyph here. So I'm a little concerned about what this is going to want to do, so I'm going to make an aggressive switch into my Heliolisk here, just because I don't want him to be Cosmic Power or something like that. Although if he was Cosmic Power, then I guess he would have the Flame Orb. So I guess maybe switching into my Metagross wouldn't be too bad of a switching either, because we can still kind of check the Sigilyph and see what he wants to do. As long as he doesn't Cosmic Power, we should be fine, as he does end up going for the Energy Ball. So it's a good thing I didn't switch into my Heliolisk there to take a hit from this. So I should be able to Meteor Mash here, as he is going to end up switching into the Jellicent. I'm fine with this because Jellicent, outside of Shadow Ball, can't really do anything to me. So this should give me a free switch into my Heliolisk, as he ends up making a very good play there, going for the Toxic. I should still be able to just safely go for the Volt Switch here. We are Choice Specs, so we're going to get off a huge amount of damage on whatever he decides to bring in. As he brings in the Rotom Mo, that still did a decent little 12%, as I should be able to bring in my Venusaur here and just go for the Sludge Bomb is what I'm thinking. Hidden Power Ground wouldn't be a bad play either, although going for the Z Celebrate still sounds like a decent play, but there is the possibility that he has the Focus Sash on his Sigilyph, so I'd rather just go for the Sludge Bomb here, as we're able to knock out the Rotom Mow. That's really good because now he's not going to be able to Volt Switch freely, as in comes a Skuntank. And like I said, Swampert is definitely my best answer to this, as he's going to Pursuit Trap me here. I'm not sure why he didn't Pursuit my Heliolisk earlier, but either way, we're able to bring in Swampert. And I want to say that going for the Roar is probably my better play, because we can shuffle him around and rack up Rocks damage, because there is a chance he's going to bring in the Jellicent, but he actually brings in the Ribombee, which is even better because we get off some Rocks damage on that already. As in comes the Crawdon, this is honestly not even that big of an issue, because we are going to be able to sack off something here, which is going to be my Metagross, because Metagross at this point doesn't really do anything, as he's going to nuke us with the knockoff. This gives me a free switch back into my Heliolisk, which should be able to just safely go for the Volt Switch again. I don't want to go for the Thunderbolt because I don't think I knock out Skuntank at the range of HP that he's at. Plus, I don't really have to play risky like that, as he does decide to sack off the Ribombee, which is really good because now I'm not going to have to take any unnecessary toxic damage with my Heliolisk, as I kind of want to bring in Venusaur, but Venusaur baits him to bring in the Sigilyph, which at this point I don't have a switch into Sigilyph. If I bring in Mienshao, I bait him to bring in the Jellicent, in which case he could go for the Will-O-Wisp. If I bring in Alakazam, I bait him to bring in the Skuntank, and then at that point he can just Pursuit Trap us. So I may have to bring in Swampert here and just sack it off, is what I'm worried about doing. Actually, no, I don't think Mienshao is a bad play, because he can't do anything to Heliolisk with Jellicent. Yeah, because he's going to have Will-O-Wisp, Scald, Shadow Bomb, Recover is most likely his set. No, he had Toxic. He's got Toxic, Scald, Shadow Ball, and Recover is what the Jellicent set is most likely, which means Heliolisk should be a pretty good switch into it. And from there, I can safely go for another Volt Switch or even go for the Thunderbolt. And another reason I don't want a Thunderbolt is because this Sigilyph could still have his Focus Sash. So right now, definitely just Volt Switching around is my better play, as he actually ends up bringing in the Sigilyph here, which is really good for me, because now what I can do is just sack something off to the Sigilyph. So I may sack off my Swampert here, because I still feel like I can go for the Z Celebrate with Venusaur. Although, I don't know, I guess it would still be kind of nice to have Swampert for the Skuntank. But I mean, as long as I have Mienshao and the Sash on my Alakazam, I guess it shouldn't be that big of an issue. And I have a perfect switch into Jellicent in the form of my Heliolisk, so maybe sacking off Venusaur here is probably the better play as opposed to sacking off my Swampert. So he's going to knock me out with the Psychic, as I can get a free switch back into my Heliolisk and safely go for the Volt Switch. We are Choice Specs, so anything he switches in is going to get put down, and we're going to be in the advantage here because we're going to have Rocks up and we're going to be up 4-3. So from the looks of it, we are in a pretty good spot right now. There's not anything that I'm too worried about him doing, because there's no way that this Heliolisk should not outspeed this Sigilyph. Unless he is Scarfed Sigilyph, then I have nothing to worry about. But I've never seen a Choice Scarf Sigilyph in my life, so I'm really not too worried about what he wants to do here. And even if he brings in the Skuntank, What? What? Are you kidding me? Hello? What? What is going? I don't understand this game. What? I'm so upset right now. First the Giga Drain Crobat, and now a Scarf Sigilyph? I hate this game. I hate Pokemon. Pokemon is such a Why? Why? I don't understand, guys. I don't understand. What is? I'm going insane. I've lost my mind. I hate Pokemon. I hate Pokemon so much. I legitimately hate this game. Oh. Okay. 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 So Earthquake is still going to be doing a lot of damage to this Jellicent, as he's going to try and recover up. And judging for how much damage Earthquake is doing, he's definitely more of a Spadef bulky variant of Jellicent. So he's just going to stay in here and recover up to get to as much HP as he can. It's fine though, because I can just bring in Heliolisk here and just click Thunderbolt. Because at this point, I pretty much win the game. Now, I want to be safe here, and I do not want to risk Volt Switch not knocking out Jellicent, because I'm going to be so upset. I'm going to be so upset if this does not knock him out. We are choice specs. Please tell me we knock him out. No, so I have to pretty much go for the... no, cancel. Oh, cancel. No, cancel. Please, thank you. Down goes the Jellicent. Down goes the Jellicent as in comes a Skuntank. And I really lose nothing in just switching out here, I think. I can honestly just switch out, and we still have Alakazam for his Crawdon. Plus, I still have U-Turn, which U-Turn, after 2 Stealth Rock switch-ins, knocks out the Crawdon. Although, I don't know if we knock out the Skuntank, which does kind of suck. So, it's a 50-50 here, and I'm probably going to lose it either way. So, I think what I'm going to do here is just bring in my Manchow to be able to go for the high jump kick to knock him out. And then we should be able to win with Alakazam. I could have switched out there, but then he would have pursued me, let's be honest. Let's be honest. As down goes the Skuntank, we still have a chance to win this game. As in comes the Crawdon, which will be able to knock us out. And I don't think a Shadow Ball can finish him off. So it comes down to whether or not I can hit a Focus Blast, which I may lose this game in that case, because Shadow Ball doesn't do anything to Crawdon. See, yeah, it only does about that much damage. So, here's the moment of truth. Here's the moment of truth, as I'm gonna go for the Focus Blast. Please. Yes! And we're able to pull out the victory. Scarfed Sigilyph. I was not expecting Scarfed Sigilyph whatsoever. That really messed me up there. So here is the team, guys. A pastement of it should be down in the description if you would like to try it out. I was hoping that Z Celebrate Venusaur would put in more work than it did, but it definitely did its job in being able to pressure my opponent and weaken certain mons. Let me know how you guys feel about RU Alpha. Like I said, I really think it's a lot of fun right now. I don't think it's as broken as UU Alpha was, so I'll definitely be dabbling in RU Alpha a lot more. So if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to hit the like button down below and comment and subscribe as well. So with that being said, guys, I will see you all tomorrow. So later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in a knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion, but when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, hoping. For real.